Guys, it's your boy Mustafa and we're back with another Premier League roundup for game week 21. So without further ado, let's start. Okay, it's a good weekend, a decent weekend. Only 5 games this weekend. You've got Saturday the 20th of January, you've got Arsenal versus Crystal Palace and Brentford versus Nottingham Forest. Sunday the 21st of January, Sheffield United versus West Ham. Bournemouth versus the mighty Reds, Liverpool. And then Monday the 22nd, you've got Brighton versus Wolves. Now we're going to go into a bit more detail for the mighty Reds, my team. Let's see how we're going to perform against a very good Bournemouth side. We're going to start with Bournemouth now. Bournemouth have been in some good form this season. I mean, they have won 3 of their last 5 games. The previous game, they lost 3-1 to Spurs, but they weren't bad. They were really good. They had 24 shots in that game, and I honestly think they were unlucky not to get anything. They have got a few players missing through injury and obviously the African Cup of Nations. They've got no Semenyo. If I'm correct, he scored at Anfield earlier this season. He's a decent player, plenty of energy. But generally speaking, Bournemouth, I think they're a very good team. They're a very good team. They've had very good results this season. Dominic Solanke, obviously an ex-Liverpool player, on absolute fire this season. One of the hottest strikers we've got in the Premier League. And I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, some top team came with a cheeky bid for him. I'm actually quite sad that he didn't make it at Liverpool because I always thought he had the attributes of a very good striker. And yeah, it's a bit unfortunate for him, but I'm glad. I'm very happy for him that he's at Bournemouth and he's doing bits at Bournemouth. Kickoff's at 4:30 p.m. on Sunday, and Liverpool have got a rather large, obviously, injury list. Went some detail there. Thiago Alcantara. Well, he's out, even though he's an absolute magician of a player. Bajcetic, I'm sad he's out as well. Obviously, youngster coming in last season, he saved us quite a few times in that defensive midfield position. I think he's going to be amazing, as time goes on. But he's obviously injured right now. They say he's growing pains. He's only young. Trent's out for 3 weeks. That's unfortunate. I think it's about 2 weeks now. But they did say 3 weeks for Trent roundabout. So hopefully we can get him back in for maybe the Arsenal game potentially. If not the Arsenal game, then the game after that. But we really do need him back for that Arsenal game. Ben Dork, obviously, he's out. Matip's out for the rest of the season. Robertson's still out. Szoboszlai might be back for this game. I hope he is. And Shimikas is still out. Endo and Salah. Endo, our Japanese king. Our very own Goku. I love the guy. Honestly, I love him. He's been... a lot of people doubted him when he first came. And I have to admit, the first couple of performances were rough. And when you're looking at him, I'm like, I know what he can do because I've seen him play for Japan and he's incredible, the Japanese captain. But when he came in those first couple of games, he looked a bit off the pace. He was diving into challenges. He looked a bit slow. But since then, I would put up an argument that he's one of the best CDMs in the Premier League over the past 3 or 4 games, 5 games. Every time he's won, we've not lost. Every time he's played, we've not lost. He's an absolute monster. And people saying that we need a number 6, okay. We do need a backup for him, but we have got Bajcetic as well. So I don't think we need a number 6. I do think that he's doing a good enough role there. Obviously with Maka in the middle as well. I don't rate Maka at this moment of time. I do not rate Maka. Yeah, he won the World Cup. I understand he won the World Cup, and he did play pretty brilliantly for Argentina, and he was great for Brighton last season. But for me, at this moment, he doesn't look like a Liverpool player. When he first came in, I thought he'd be like a Coutinho kind of player where he would get that kind of attacking midfield role, play those killer passes. But I don't know. I don't see him doing that right now. He did play a fantastic pass the other day. I can't remember who it was to. I think it was to Diego Jota. He played a fantastic pass the other day against Newcastle outside of the boot. That was the first time I've seen him really click in Liverpool shirt. But he's just not doing it for me. I'm completely honest. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm biased at some points. But when I've got to be honest, I've got to be honest. And I don't think he's good enough at this moment of time. And then obviously Salah, the Egyptian king, the best player in the world right now. The best player in the Premier League right now. The absolute monster. He breaks records every single game he plays. And we're gonna struggle without him. We're absolutely gonna struggle without him. We've won 3 of our last 5 games, and we've been unbeaten. We've only drawn 2, and we're top of the league. We're top of the league, baby. So what more can you ask for? Something that I never expected with Liverpool, but we are top of the league. Conor Bradley, I expect him to start in place of Trent. He had a decent game last time out against Fulham, but he wasn't, I don't know. It's very hard to fill the boots of Trent because Trent is just a magician. He's just such a good player, probably the best right back in the world. Maybe not defensively, but as a whole package, he's absolutely magnificent. And Conor Bradley it's gonna be tough. It almost reminds me of Nico Williams, who's gone to Nottingham Forest now. You can't even get a game there. But they're very, very similar. You know, it's hard. It is hard to fill the boots of Trent. But as long as he keeps clean sheets and as long as he defends correctly and gets a few assists here and there, I reckon he'll be okay. He's only a young lad. So my predicted starting lineup for Liverpool, I think, would probably be Alisson in net, the best keeper in the world. Conor Bradley right back, Konate and Van Dijk in the centre, and Gomez left back. Gomez, I'm going to give him a shout out because, you know, he had that one season with Virgil van Dijk a couple of seasons ago where him and Virg were absolutely magnificent at the back. Like, they were the best Premiership defensive partnership, you know, by a mile. And then he had injuries and he's been a bit, you know, I haven't got much confidence in him because he gives the ball away sometimes. He makes some stupid mistakes in games, but so far so good. And he's getting closer. He's getting closer to scoring a goal. Like every single game, he's having these like 30-yard shot or something, and he's doing quite well. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a goal against Bournemouth. Then we've got Harvey Elliott. I love Harvey Elliott, but I feel like Harvey Elliott first is more like an impact substitution at the moment. I feel like when he comes off the bench, he's better than when he starts. I do rate him. I think he's fantastic, but he just lacks something. Maybe because he's filling the boots of Salah, but he lacks something. He's such a good player, but there's something lacking there. Maka, we've discussed. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's very good in that CDM role, especially. But we haven't got many options at the moment. Curtis Jones. People are raving about Curtis Jones, saying he was man of the match against Fulham. I don't think he was. I don't think we played particularly well against Fulham. We're going to come on to that in another video with the build up to the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. But he's okay. Our midfielders look pretty weak. Jota, oh my God, Diogo Jota, what a player. He's come back from injury and he's the guy who I think is going to replace Salah while he's gone to the African Cup of Nations, meaning with goals and assists and contributions. He's going to be absolutely incredible. I do love him. And his song is incredible, isn't it? Oh, he wears a number 20. He will take us to victory. He's just amazing. And the best Portuguese in the league by a mile. Okay, maybe Bernardo Silva gets a shout as well. But Darwin Núñez. Now let's spend some time on Darwin Núñez. Yes, he's not getting the goals, but his contributions are right up there. Like the thing is, when he comes on, if I'm a defender, I'm looking and thinking, right, I'm going to have a tough day today because he causes absolute havoc. Like, he might not be the best finisher, which I think is something he definitely needs to work on if we want to be winning consistent Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues and things like any sort of cups. We do need a proper goal scorer. But what he does for the team and the way he plays, I love it when he plays. Like, whenever he plays, he gives it 100%. He's always running at defenders. He's got so many assists now. He's just a fantastic player. And all the other teams are hating on Darwin Núñez, but I can guarantee when he plays, they hate it. Like, their defenders absolutely hate it. Whether it's against Arsenal, whether it's against Fulham, whether it's against Newcastle, he's been absolutely magnificent. I just pray and hope that somehow, some way, he gains a bit of confidence and brings that goal-scoring record he has at Uruguay where he had at Benfica, because he was unstoppable at Benfica, I'll tell you that. Diaz looks back to his best as of recent past couple of games, and we need him to keep that form up while Salah's away, because Diaz a couple of seasons ago was the man. Like, the way he was attacking defenders, he was running at defenders, beating them. He used to cut inside on his right and he used to curl it into that bottom corner. And that was his trademark, and it was amazing. He almost reminds me of Robben, but from the left instead of the right. And he honestly was incredible. We need more of that from Lucho. Like, Lucho can be our best player. You know, even when Salah's in the team, if he plays well, he can be our best player and he can be that game winner for us. So we really need a performance from Luis Diaz. That's my predicted lineup. The only change I could probably see there would maybe be Konate for Kwanzaa, but I don't think that'll be the case. I think Konate will play, and I think Kwanzaa will play midweek against Fulham. So it is going to be a tough game, a very tough game for Liverpool, because Bournemouth, as I said, at home as well, they've been incredible, and they've not been an easy fixture for anyone in the Premier League. But if we really want to maintain that top of the league status, and we really want to maintain, that confidence of going for the Premier League, especially with Man City back, we all know Man City are going to go on like a 19-game, 20-game unbeaten run right now. We need every single point. So I see us getting a comfortable win. And I think it's gonna be a good 3-1, maybe 3-0 to Liverpool. I don't see Bournemouth winning, but I wouldn't put it past Bournemouth either. Like, this could be a massive banana skin game for Liverpool. We have lost there in the past, and they're a good team. I do have respect for Bournemouth. I don't think it's going to be simple, but at the same time, I do think we're going to get a comfortable win if we play like I expect us to play against Bournemouth, which is a good game. Take control of the game and not really missing Trent or Salah or Endo. But yeah, that's what I think about the Reds. And yeah, let's just hope we're top of the league come the end of the week. Now, Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Oh, Arsenal. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games. Obviously, 1 in the FA Cup to Liverpool, and it's disappointing. I know they lost to Aston Villa. They lost to West Ham. It's hard. It is tough for Arsenal, and they're going through that period where Liverpool were at for a long time, where they've got this fresh and up and coming team. They're challenging for the title, but they're not quite there. I think they will get there soon. I don't think it's going to be this season. I think this season's going to be purely Liverpool or City. City are favourites, if I'm honest with you. Palace have been doing decent as well, but I'm going for a 2-1 home win for Arsenal. Brentford versus Nottingham Forest. Ivan Toney is back. I really hope he plays, because he's a monster. He was the 3rd top scorer last season with 20 goals. And he was behind Harry Kane with 30 and Erling Haaland, of course, with 36. And those two are monsters. They're a different breed. But Ivan Toney back. What a striker. If he's back, fit and playing, I think Brentford are going to win 2-0. And I think he's going to get into the score sheet. Sheffield United and West Ham. I do think West Ham will beat Sheffield United comfortably, maybe 3-1 away. Jared Bowen on absolute fire at the moment. Paqueta is one of my favourite players in the Premier League. Like, when it comes to midfielders, you just watch his game and he's so Brazilian. And if I was Liverpool, I'd sign him. I know City were after him, and then they settled for Nunez from what do you call it? From Wolves. He settled for Nunez from Wolves. I don't think they're even in the same bracket. I think Paqueta is such a good player. Obviously, Kudus has gone to the African Cup of Nations. That's going to be a big miss for them. Brighton playing on Monday against Wolves. I give that a 2-2. I think Wolves are good. I think Brighton are, they're not hitting the expectations that they left off last season and at the beginning of this season. But I'm going for a 2-2 draw against Wolves. Maybe Brighton might nick it at 2-1, but let's go for a 2-2. So that's my roundup for game week 21 for most teams. Come on, you red men, don't let me down. We're halfway into over halfway into the season. We're top of the table. This is better than anyone could have expected. I'm watching people on YouTube saying that, you're giving it all the big, oh yeah, we're top of the league, we're going to win. Put some respect on Liverpool's name. Look, I respect all of that. But I'm a realist. And Liverpool right now, until we get like a 12-point lead on City, the title's not ours. And we can't get comfortable, and I don't think we're going to win unless City lose a couple of games and we win all our games. We literally have to do a City in the next 19, 20 games of the season. I think it's 18 games left. We have to do a City. We have to go in every single game as a cup final, and every single game we have to win. And we got some tough fixtures coming up. We got Chelsea around the corner. We've got Arsenal around the corner. It's going to be a hell of a ride for a Liverpool fan. And we could easily, in this league, the way it's poised right now, we could end up finishing 4th. Like, honestly, it's not that far behind. You've got City, you've got Liverpool, you've got Aston Villa, you've got Spurs, you've got Arsenal, you've got all these guys in the mix at the moment. And it's very, very, I think we're 2 points clear at the moment, but and that's City as well. City are going to go and they're going to win every single game. Arsenal aren't going to give up. They've had their blip now, so they're going to come back stronger. And Aston Villa, I really hope they drop off, but you never know. You never know. I think Unai Emery, as Aston Villa progress in their European competition, he's going to kind of take the eye off the ball in the Premier League. I really hope that happens. He's got a track history of doing that with his previous teams. Arsenal, especially, remember Arsenal had like 3 games in a week and you know, he kind of completely, they had 4th place in the bag and he completely ignored 4th place and he went for the Europa League and they lost to Chelsea in the final, I believe 4-1. So he's got a track record of concentrating on his Europa League competition, on his European competitions. He's an European manager. But yeah, we have to keep the momentum going. We have to make it seem like we're not missing Salah, we're not missing Trent, we're not missing Endo, and we have to make the most of our team. I really hope we get some of our injuries back, and I really hope Szoboszlai plays, because if Szoboszlai plays, then he goes straight into that team instead of probably Elliot, I'd say. And Elliot as an impact substitution would be great. But Elliot, McAllister and Jones starting is a bit weak for me. But nevertheless, I hope we win. And that is the Premier League roundup for game week 21 for Liverpool. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share and subscribe. And let's see how I did on my predictions. Until the next time, you'll never walk alone.